For the last lesson, we talked about evaluating exponents. Now we're going to take a step further, add that into larger numerical expressions. So as a reminder, evaluate means to find the value of. So we're essentially answering the question, okay? What is a numerical expression? Well, numerical is talking about numbers, and expressions are a combination of numbers and operations here. So for example, 3 times 2 plus 4 minus 4 times 6. It has operations, it has numbers, therefore it is a numerical expression. There's no variables in there. As I said, we're going to take what we did for the last lesson with exponents and apply it to bigger problems. So we're just going to remind ourselves when we're evaluating exponents, when I see 2 to the third power, that does not mean 2 times 3. When I see 6 to the second power, that does not mean 6 times 2. When I see 10 to the fourth, that does not mean 10 times 4. Okay? So 2 to the third power, as a reminder, that would be 2 times 2 times 2. If I plug that in, I get 8. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 6 to the second power is not 12. It's not 6 times 2. It's 6 times 6, which is 36. And 10 to the fourth, we could plug that in our calculator as 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. Or if we remember the rule, it's a 1 followed by 4 zeros. Okay? So let's look at actually evaluating numerical expressions. We use order of operations. It tells you which operations to perform first so that everyone gets the same answer. You may have heard this before. We have PEMDAS, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So I really like this mnemonic device, but sometimes people get things mixed up. So what is important is these two parts right here. That multiplying and dividing, you have to go in order from left to right. So sometimes multiplication is first, sometimes division is first. Whichever of the two is furthest to the left is what goes first. Same thing for adding and subtracting. You have to go in the order from left to right. So sometimes adding's first, sometimes subtracting is first. If adding's further to the left, we start with that. If subtracting's further to the left, we start with that. So let's look at this first example, and we're going to do some highlighting here, okay? We've got 10 minus 2 plus 8. Most common mistake people will make is they will do 2 plus 8 first because they think, oh, well, PEMDAS, addition comes before subtraction. You should have in your resource packet, as a reminder, as you're working, that you can use the PEMDAS sheet. I've just got one cut out here so I can use it as I'm working through. So I'm just going to go through each step. Are there parentheses? No. Are there exponents? No. Is there multiplication or division? No. Is there addition or subtraction? Yes, and we go in order from left to right. So our subtraction is furthest to the left. So I'm going to highlight 10 minus 2 because that's what I need to start with. So 10 minus 2 is 8. Then I bring everything else down. Bring down my plus, bring down my 8. Now, the only thing that's left is addition. So I'm going to add 8 plus 8, which is 16. Okay, let's look at example 2. Going through the process. Are there parentheses? No. Are there exponents? No. Is there multiplication or division? Yes. And again, we have to go left to right. So we're not actually starting with the multiplication. We are going to start with the division because that is furthest to the left. 15 divided by 3 is 5. Then I'm bringing everything else down, bringing down my multiplication, bringing down the 8. 5 times 8, that's all that's left, so that's what I'm doing next. 5 times 8 is 40. Okay, let's try another example. A little bit longer of a problem here. So again, going through my order of operations, I'm looking first, are there parentheses? Yes. So I'm going to start with the parentheses. So I'm going to highlight that. Inside the parentheses, 4 plus 3 is 7. I'm going to bring everything else down. Bring down the times, bring down the 5, bring down the minus, bring down the 11. Then I'm going to go through my checklist again. Are there parentheses? No. Are there exponents? No. Is there multiplication or division? Yes, there is just multiplication. So that is what I'm going to do next. 7 times 5 is 35. Bring everything else down. Bring down the minus, bring down the 11. Now all that I have left is this subtraction. So that's what I'm doing next. 35 minus 11, which is 24. Okay. Next up, number 4. Looking on here, do I see parentheses? No. Do I see exponents? Yes, I do. I see a little exponent right here. So that's where I need to start, with 6 to the second power. As a reminder, 6 to the second power does not mean 6 times 2. It means 6 times 6. 6 times 6 is 36. Now I'm bringing everything else down. I'm bringing what's down on the left, so a 3 and a times goes on the left. And then I'm bringing what's on the right, so the plus, the 14, the divided, the 7. Now I'm going through my checklist again. Are there any more exponents? No. Moving on to multiplication and division. Do we have multiplication and division? Yeah, we have multiplication and division, so we are going to do what's on the left first. So I am first going to multiply 3 times 36. That's kind of a bigger number, and it's not on your multiplication chart. So if you need to plug that into your calculator to do the work for you, that is fine. So 3 times 36 is 108. Bring down the plus, bring down the 14, bring down the division, bring down the 7. Okay, we're going to go through our checklist again. Is there still multiplication and division? Yes, we have division. So I first need to divide. 14 divided by 7 is 2. And then I bring anything else down. So bring down my 108, bring down my plus. Now all that we have left is addition. So 108 plus 2 is 110. All right, looking at number 5, going through our checklist. Are there parentheses? Yes. So that is where we have to start. So I'm going to do 9 minus 6 in the parentheses, which is 3, and bring everything else down. So I'm going to start all the way over on the left here. 20, bring down the minus, bring down the 4, bring down the plus, bring down the 17, and don't forget, bring down that multiplication sign. Okay, going through our checklist. Are there any more parentheses? No. Are there exponents? No. Is there multiplication or division? Yeah, there's multiplication right here. So that is what I need to do next. So I'm going to multiply 17 times 3. You can use your multiplication chart. You can use your calculator. 17 times 3 is 51. Now bring everything else down. Bring down our 20, our minus, our 4, our plus. And then we can keep going through our checklist. Is there any more multiplication or division? No. Is there addition and subtraction? Yes, and we go left to right. So we are going to start on the left with subtraction before we do the addition. 20 minus 4 is 16. Bring down the plus. Bring down the 51. Now all that's left is addition. So I'm going to add 16 plus 51, which is 67. All right, let's try one more. Going through our checklist. Is there parentheses? Yes. So we have to start with those parentheses first. 50 minus 10 is 40, and I'm going to write that all the way on the left here. And bring anything else down. Bring down our division, bring down the 2, bring down the plus, bring down the 4 squared. Okay, going through our checklist, are there any more parentheses? No. Are there exponents? Yeah, we have exponents right here. And as a reminder, 4 to the second power is not 4 times 2, it's 4 times 4, which is 16. So I'm writing that and I'm bringing everything else down. Bringing down my 40, bringing down the division, bringing down the 2, bringing down the plus. Okay, do we see any other exponents? No. Do we see multiplication or division? Yes, we have division here, so that is what we are doing next. 40 divided by 2 is 20. Bring down the plus, bring down the 16. Now all that is left is addition. So we are going to add 20 plus 16, which is 36.